All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about something pretty powerful, a mindset shift called the 1% Metamorphosis. This is all about learning how to stop being a victim of your thoughts and start commanding the battlefield in your mind. So let's get to it. So let me ask you something. Do you ever feel, well, trapped? Trapped in that same loop of anxious thoughts playing over and over again. You know, that nagging track of worry that just will not quit. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. But here's the big question. What if the answer isn't just trying to wish it away? What if it's about confronting it head on? Okay, first things first, we've got to reframe how we even see our minds. We tend to think of it as this peaceful space that we hope just stays calm, but that's not really the case, is it? It's much more like an active battlefield. And think about it, on any battlefield, just wishing for the enemy to go away, that is never, ever a winning strategy. And that right there is the core of the problem. So many of us, we find ourselves begging for relief. Please just make these thoughts go away. But what if that whole approach is based on a huge misunderstanding of our own role in this? What if you were actually positioned for command, not for begging? You see, this points to a really common mistake in how we approach this whole struggle. It's this failure to shift from making a passive plea to giving an active command. So let's really break down what that looks like in practice. And this right here just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got praying about it. That's the passive plea, right? God, please just take this anxiety from me. But on the other side, you have speaking to it. That is an active command. It is the massive difference between talking about the mountain in front of you and speaking directly to that mountain and commanding it to move. Okay, so you might be thinking, how do I actually make that shift? Well, it all starts by adopting what we're calling the 1% mindset. And here's the core idea. Taking control of your mind, it's not automatic, it doesn't just happen, it's a conscious choice, and it's going to require some real intentional effort. So why the 1%? What's that about? Well, it represents that small group of people who make a choice. They choose to stop being a victim of their own thoughts, and instead, they decide to actively train their minds. Look, this isn't about some easy magic fix. It's about embracing the fact that there will be resistance, and it's about being willing to do the work. So when you boil it all down, the 1% mindset is really about one thing: choosing to take radical responsibility for your own mind. It's not about looking for a magic button to make it all go away. No, it's about committing to the training, knowing there's going to be resistance, and literally forging a new way of thinking day by day. Okay, enough theory. Let's get really practical. To actually command our thoughts, we need a technique, a game plan, and it all comes down to interrupting something in our brains called the neural loop. So what's a neural loop? Think of it like a path in a grassy field. The first time you walk it, it's barely there. But if you walk that same path every single day, it gets deeper, more defined, easier to follow. Your brain does the exact same thing. It strengthens whatever thought patterns you practice over and over. And when you keep practicing anxious thoughts, they create what you could call a mental stronghold. But here's the really good news. You can always, always create new paths. All right, so here is the training plan. It's 4 simple steps. Step 1, you have to identify the thought. Give that mountain a name. What is it, really? Step 2, use your authority to speak directly to it, not just about it. Step 3, you command it to move in Jesus' name. And here's the crucial part. Step 4, repeat. You have to do it again and again, because every single time you do, you're carving out that new, stronger neural pathway in your brain. You know what? Let's put this into practice right now, together. Go down to the comments, and I want you to type, "Move in Jesus' name." Seriously, do it. This isn't just typing some words on a screen. This is a declaration. This is your first rep, your first step in training your mind to use the authority it has. When you start to actually engage in this process, something really profound starts to happen. We're not talking about just making a few small tweaks here and there. We're talking about total transformation. And the whole thing hinges on one powerful idea: renewal. Man, listen to this, because it is such a powerful reframe. You are not broken, you are not behind, and you are not failing. You are simply unrenewed. Just let that sink in for a second. That struggle you feel, it doesn't mean you're broken, it doesn't mean you're failing, it just means your mind is unrenewed in that specific area. Wow, that just totally removes the shame and replaces it with a clear path forward, doesn't it? And that, Right there is the biggest takeaway. Renewal changes everything. It's not about trying to fix some fundamental flaw in who you are. Think of it more like you're upgrading your mind's operating system through intentional practice. That transformation is available to you, and it all begins with the simple choice to start training.
So, if any of this has clicked for you, if it's boosted your understanding, do me a favor and like this explainer. And you probably know someone who's fighting their own mental battles, so share it with them. And hey, subscribe. Join this community of one percenters, the people who are absolutely committed to commanding their minds and living that metamorphosis life.
This is really the vision we're fighting for. It starts by just being honest. The mind is a battlefield, and it requires our active engagement. But through this training, by using the authority we've been given, that very same space can be totally transformed. It can become a garden, a place where peace and growth can actually flourish.
So, let's land the plane right here. Today, just by watching this, you've already taken the first step. You've chosen to train. So now, there's really only one question left to ask. What is the very first mountain you are going to command? Name it. And right now, begin your metamorphosis.